Welcome back to JB Reviews. We're gonna try something today. So I did a video doing an MPG run and really going over some of the towing function on this truck. And I think we need to try something with the manual shift. Now I've been wanting to do this, but I want to get some miles on the transmission, on the engine, on the drivetrain before I start, doing hard downshift. So we have about 3,500 miles on the truck, so I feel like this is perfect. In the last video, I mentioned that whenever you take your foot off the gas, there's just no feedback from the exhaust brake in the tow hall mode. And it's really frustrating because coming from a Ram, is 100% like functional. Once you take your foot off the gas, it comes on. And that's in full exhaust mode. They have an automatic, which is basically what a lot of people say this has. So when you're in cruise control going downhill, it does downshift, it does turn on the exhaust brake, although I don't think I felt it when we were going down grade 2. But we're going to use this manual shift mode, but we're headed to BlueTti next now, right? And we're going to get this bad boy washed one last time because we're not living in it anymore. And so I'm going to be able to do some downshifts once we get off of this interstate. Let's get into it. Now, one thing I want to mention in this video is when I first towed with this truck, I had the tire pressure set, or the dealers had it set to the manufacturer's suggestion. I aired up my tires to 80 psi's all the way around. The rear is supposed to be at 80 psi's anyways, but I aired up the fronts too, and that took away all of the sway that I was getting from this truck. So I strongly recommend you go back and watch the last video I did, but if you are towing heavy like this is about 15,000 pounds, I strongly recommend that you air your tires up. When I did it on my Ram, I always had good control, so I never really ran my tire pressure lower than 80 psi on my Ram. So I wonder if I ever buy one in the future, maybe I'll run them at the factory settings and see if it had that same sway. But I'm really happy overall with this truck. I mean, it handles great. And like I said, stability went up through the roof now that the tire pressure's higher. So it's definitely something I recommend. Oh, that was a rock, wasn't it? That's not good. But like I said, we're about to get off in about 3 miles, and I'm gonna manually shift it. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna drop it down to manual, and I'm gonna put it at the 10th gear. Right now at 80 miles an hour, we're running just at, what is that, 1,700 RPMs? Right at 1,700 RPMs in 10th gear at 80 miles an hour. I think with the Ram, it was like 2,000 RPMs. So this truck definitely does get better fuel economy when I did the last video. So I'm not surprised though. With more gears, that makes sense, and it has a lower numerical axle ratio out back. So lower gear for all the people who like be technical. But again, we'll be there in 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then we'll start downshifting. Oh wow, this is a nice one here. Just turn the exhaust brake back on. Oh yeah, no foot on the brake. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, there it is. First gear. First gear's okay. But actually, like when I was in 3rd and 4th gear without the exhaust brake, the transmission was taking a lot of the grunt. When you turn the exhaust brake on, you could feel it. This is wide open throttle, 40. That's about 48 miles an hour in 3rd gear. Oh yes. There it is. All right, wide open throttle. We're going uphill a little bit. Wow. Yeah, this truck has some deep gears down low. And that was going uphill too, by the way. All right, so I'm gonna put it back in manual mode. I want you guys to see this. See, why can't the transmission do this in drive? I'm gonna turn the exhaust brake off one more time. All right, here we go. We'll turn it on again. Oh yeah. That's Ram strong right there. There you go. So we figured it out, guys. So all you have to do is manually shift it, and you will have an exhaust brake stronger than Ram's, just about. And I'm gonna show you one last thing here. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the temperature. So 187, I was beating on that transmission. So it does get hot if you plan on downshifting manually. And I believe you can go up to like 4,000 or even 4,800, I believe, with the downshifts, although I wouldn't want it to be that strong. But 187 degrees is pretty good. I'd venture to say if you are running it in the summertime, I'd definitely try to watch that temperature. And this fuel economy is not going to be right. I would say that this one's probably more accurate, about 9.3, because we were doing about 80 miles an hour on the highway just now. So, and we were doing a pretty consistent drive. But like I said, we'll be here for probably another 30, 45 minutes. So I'll check back in one last time to show you guys a few things. So this is where this 10 speed kills the eyes. You ready? All right, so watch how fast this thing shifts down. 1, 2, 3. It's like quick. So this is where it kills it at. With the eyes in, it takes so much more time to, you know, shift down compared to, I mean, even like with the ups, sorry, the light's red right now, so here. I'm actually in a low gear, never mind. But like, it's really strong. Like, it's still not as strong as the Ram, but those downshifts are so quick, you can actually get down to a lower gear a lot faster and get more engine braking and exhaust brake too. So when you have the exhaust brake on in manual mode, it's so much stronger than when it's not. But I think that's pretty much it. I think that I might show you guys one acceleration from 0 if I have a chance to. But yeah, this truck, maybe I can do it right now. Actually, you know, light's red. Although it's just like, this is literally like a quarter mile basically. Quarter mile almost. Are you ready? Build up a little bit of boost. There's no boost gauge on this truck. I just noticed that just now. Wow. Yeah, that is not bad. 40 miles an hour. That's towing about 15,000 pounds. Hopefully you guys can see the speed here. I'm in 5th gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty much better than the Ram. Now, 1st gear isn't strong, as I mentioned earlier. I just want to show it to you one last time. But yeah, it's strong. So GM, if you're watching this, please make it to where it's like that when I tap the brakes and the transmission just automatically does that for me. Why does it not do that? Is it that this transmission is really sensitive? I don't know. I guess if I destroy it, I'll let you guys know too. But I'm gonna show you guys the 0 to 60 as I mentioned, and then that will effectively end this video. Uh-oh. I know why this transmission doesn't downshift like that. It's getting warm, 199 degrees Fahrenheit. So I guess, like I said earlier, if you're gonna be doing this, you really have to keep your transmission temperature up because you don't want to get too hot. I just did a really good downshift just now, and I just saw that it got up to about 199 there. So it hasn't broken 200 yet. But yeah, it's definitely getting warm. Now, if I was like driving like this with the eyes in, I've said in the past, in the city or like in stop and go traffic, the eyes gets hot like this too. It get up to like 180 maybe, 185. I think it's the hottest I've ever seen it. And if we're climbing grades and it's really hot outside, it probably would get up to like 190. But I've never really seen it stay there long. So all in all, a really good option for people looking for a tow vehicle. And again, I will do the 0 to 60, but I just can't find a good area for you guys. So stay tuned. All right, here we go. But yeah, that's not bad. For not having the amount of power that the other two have, this truck does the job. And now that I see that I have a strong exhaust brake, who worked?